Hello, my friend. It is Aaron, here to guide you gently into sleep. Let your body become heavy. Let your thoughts drift like clouds. I will do the rest. I have a tale for you tonight. From a place where the world is vast and gentle, where every path leads somewhere safe, and every evening brings the promise of rest. Welcome back. Tonight, a story awaits you. A gentle journey, designed to help you drift away into deep, peaceful sleep. Settle in now. Feel yourself sinking into your bed, finding that perfect, most comfortable position. Let your shoulders soften, your arms rest heavy by your sides. Allow your legs to stretch out or curl up, whatever feels most natural most you. Now, let's begin with your breath. Take a slow, deep inhale through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold it for just a moment, and then exhale slowly, letting go of all the day's tension. Again, deep breath in, hold, and a long sighing exhale. Feel your body beginning to relax with each breath. Notice the comforting weight of your body pressing down into the mattress. Feel the incredible softness beneath you, supporting you, cradling you. You are held. You are safe. Listen now to the sounds around you. The gentle hum of the night. Perhaps the distant whisper of the wind, or the soft patter of rain. Let these sounds wash over you, a soothing lullaby. They are simply there, and so are you. Just resting. Just breathing. Just being. You wake to cold air on your face, a sharp, clean slice of it that makes you draw a deeper breath, and to the low, sweet smoke of banked hearth fires seeping through the hide walls of your small writing room. The warmth is still held close around your body, trapped in the heavy layers of wool and fox fur you sleep under, a cocoon of softness that makes the chill on your cheeks and nose feel like a greeting rather than an intrusion. You listen, eyes still closed, to the sound of a light rain pattering on the turf roof above you. A steady, gentle rhythm that seems to slow the very beat of your heart, and beneath it, the distant, familiar clatter of a wooden bucket being set down at the well. You push the furs back slowly, the movement feeling deliberate and steady, and the cool morning air flows over your hands and wrists as you sit up on your sleeping bench. The packed earth floor is cold under your bare feet, a firm, familiar solidity, and you reach for your thick socks and soft leather shoes, the wool smelling faintly of wood smoke and lanolin as you pull them on. Your small room is dim, the only light a gray, soft glow seeping in through the single wax parchment window, illuminating the motes of dust and smoke that drift in the still air. You can smell the rain, a wet stone scent, and beneath it, the deeper, richer smells of your craft, the sharp tang of oak gall ink, the animal musk of the treated calfskin vellum, and the beeswax from your smoothing stone. You rise and move to the small hearth, where a few embers still glow a deep, pulsing orange beneath a blanket of ash. You add 2 split logs of birch, the bark silver and papery to the touch, and blow gently until tiny flames begin to lick upwards, their light dancing suddenly across the walls, making the shadows of your ink pots and scrolls stretch and sway. The heat reaches your face in a slow, gentle wave, and you hold your palms out to it, feeling the skin warm, the safety of this simple, solitary ritual wrapping around you like a cloak. You fill a small iron pot with water from the clay jug and set it at the edge of the fire to heat, the metal soon clicking softly as it expands. Your work table awaits, a broad, smooth plank of oak, its surface worn to a soft sheen by years of careful use. You run your fingertips along its edge, feeling the familiar knots and grain, and then begin to lay out your tools with a sense of quiet ceremony. First, the piece of vellum, stretched and scraped so thin it is almost translucent at the edges, pegged flat to a wooden board. Its surface is cool and slightly velvety under your palm, a pale cream color waiting for the permanence of your words. Next, your ink, a deep, glossy black made from bog iron and oak galls, stored in a shallow horn cup. You stir it with a slender bone stylus, watching the liquid swirl, thick and rich, catching the firelight like a dark jewel. You select your penna-goose quill you cut and shaped yesterday, its tip sharp and precise. You test it against your thumbnail, feeling the satisfying slight scratch, and then dip it into the ink. The quill holds the liquid, a small, perfect well of darkness at its tip, and you let it hover over the vellum for a moment, breathing steadily. The only sounds are the crackle of your fire, the soft hiss of the rain, and the distant, muted call of someone greeting a neighbor. You are sheltered here, protected, cradled in this pocket of concentration. You begin, the first stroke a careful, deliberate curve. The ink flows onto the prepared skin, a smooth, unbroken line that speaks of a king's name, the first word of a saga told to you last night by the fire in the longhouse. The act is slow, a kind of careful drawing. You feel the slight resistance of the vellum, the gentle flex of the quill in your fingers, the minute adjustments of your wrist and arm as you form each character. The scent of the ink, sharp and mineral, mixes with the warm smell of the burning birch wood, creating an aroma that is the very signature of your purpose. You taste the porridge you will soon make, the memory of yesterday's honey-sweetened oats still faint on your tongue, a promise of warmth to come. This is your fight, not with axe or shield, but with forgetting. Your battlefield is this square of calfskin, lit by fire and gray dawn. Your victory is the curve of a B, the cross on a T, the preservation of a sea king's voyage, a hero's fate, a law speaker's wisdom. Each word you anchor here with dark, steady ink is a soul saved from the silence. The world outside may think of shouts and splintered oars, but here, in this quiet room, the greatest strength is this patient, unwavering attention. You are the keeper of the breath that comes after the roar. You write, and the world narrows to the point of your quill, to the growing line of symbols that march across the pale field. Your hand is steady, your breath even. The fire warms your right side, a constant, comforting presence. The vellum drinks the ink, holding each story safe. You are the silent heart of the settlement, and in this act of preservation, you are utterly, profoundly at peace. You sit solitary in your small, sheltered space, the air around you a comforting blend of familiar scents. The earthy, slightly musky smell of the treated animal hide spread out before you, the sharp, tangy aroma of the ink pot nearby, and the faint, woody scent of the peat fire burning low in the corner, its warmth a steady, protective presence against the chill of the evening. The light from the fire flickers and dances across the hide, casting shadows that seem to breathe and shift with the rhythm of the flames. You can hear the soft crackle of the fire, the occasional pop of a log as it settles deeper into the embers, and the gentle, steady sound of your own breath, a metronome keeping time with your thoughts. Your fingers, cold and steady, reach for the inkhorn, the smooth, polished bone cool against your skin. You dip the quill, the feathers soft and supple from years of use, and watch as the ink clings to the tip, glistening in the firelight. You can feel the weight of the quill in your hand, the balance of it, the way it fits perfectly between your fingers like an old friend. You begin to write, the quill scratching softly against the hide, the sound a gentle counterpoint to the fire's crackle. The words flow from your mind to your hand, each stroke of the quill a careful, deliberate act of preservation. You can taste the faint, metallic tang of the ink on your lips, a reminder of the care you must take, the precision required to capture the stories that have been entrusted to you. The hide is rough beneath your hand, the surface uneven and textured, a testament to the care with which it was prepared. You can feel the faint ridges and valleys, the way the fibers catch and hold the ink, the way the surface seems to drink it in, hungry for the stories you are inscribing. You are safe here, wrapped in the warm, familiar embrace of your small space, sheltered from the world outside. The fire casts a protective glow, its light a gentle, steady beacon in the gathering darkness. You are a keeper of stories, a guardian of histories, a scribe of sagas. You lean back, your shoulders cradled by the familiar contours of your chair, and survey your work. The hide is filled with your careful, deliberate script, each line a testament to your skill, your dedication, your art. You can see the faint sheen of the ink, the way it catches the light and holds it, a mirror of the stories it contains. You reach for your cup, the wood worn smooth by years of use, and take a sip of the warm, spiced mead within. The taste is rich and comforting, the warmth of it spreading through you, a balm against the chill of the evening. You can feel the liquid sliding down your throat, the warmth of it a gentle, soothing presence in the pit of your stomach. You are content here, nestled in your small, sheltered space, surrounded by the familiar scents and sounds of your craft. You are a scribe, a keeper of stories, a guardian of histories. You are the unsung hero of your community, the one who ensures that the sagas of your people are not forgotten, that their stories live on, etched in ink and hide for generations to come. You take a deep breath, the air filled with the comforting sense of ink and hide and fire, and you feel a sense of peace wash over you. You are safe here, wrapped in the warm embrace of your craft, sheltered from the world outside. You are a scribe, a keeper of stories, a guardian of histories. And you are content. You are curled in your usual spot, the rough wool of your tunic a familiar comfort against your skin, the scent of dried herbs and wood smoke clinging to its fibers like a second skin. Outside, the rain has begun, a soft, insistent tapping on the thatched roof above, a steady rhythm that lulls the world into a hushed stillness. Each drop, a tiny percussionist, joins the deeper murmur of the wind sighing through the eaves, a sound so constant and gentle it feels like the breath of the very earth. You can feel the cool, damp air seeping in around the edges of the thick wooden shutters, a gentle chill that only makes the warmth radiating from the hearth all the more potent, wrapping around you like a well-loved cloak. The heavy oak table before you is a landscape of quiet industry. The parchment, a pale, creamy expanse, lies smooth and cool beneath your fingertips, its surface prepared with painstaking care, smelling faintly of alum and the lingering, earthy aroma of the animal it once was. Beside it, your inkhorn, carved from dark, polished bone, holds a pool of rich, black liquid, thick and viscous, reflecting the flickering firelight like a tiny, captured night sky. The quill, a goose feather plucked and sharpened with meticulous precision, rests beside it, its tip a delicate, precise point, ready to dance across the page. You can feel the weight of it in your hand when you pick it up, a feather-light instrument that carries the weight of generations, the very breath of your ancestors. The air here, within these sturdy walls, is thick with the scent of drying ink, the faint, leathery tang of the parchment, and the comforting, pervasive aroma of the burning peat in the hearth, a smell that speaks of home and hearth, of safety held close. Your eyes trace the lines of the saga you are transcribing, the runes themselves ancient and powerful, each stroke a deliberate act of preservation. You can feel the slight roughness of the ink as it flows from the quill, a satisfying drag against the parchment's surface, leaving behind a trail of dark, indelible marks. The firelight dances and casts long, wavering shadows across the room, making the figures in the saga seem to stir and whisper just at the edge of your vision, a silent audience to your work. You can hear the crackle and pop of the burning peat, a comforting counterpoint to the drumming rain, and the occasional sigh of the wind as it nudges against the stout walls of your dwelling. The taste of the week, herbal tea you sipped earlier still lingers on your tongue, a faint, earthy sweetness that settles your mind. The elder's voice, a deep, resonant rumble that you've known since childhood, echoes in your memory, not as a sound you hear now, but as a profound understanding that settles in your bones. He spoke of the old ways, of the heroes whose deeds are etched into the very fabric of your people. his words painting vivid pictures in the firelight of the long house, weaving tales of courage and cunning, of voyages across treacherous seas and battles fought with fierce determination. Now, that voice is a guiding presence, a steady hand on your shoulder as you meticulously commit those same sagas to parchment, ensuring that the echoes of those ancient voices will not fade into the ceaseless rhythm of time. You can feel the smooth, worn wood of the table beneath your forearms, a solid anchor in the shifting play of light and shadow, and the faint warmth from the hearth seeps into your legs, a gentle, constant embrace. You dip the quill again, the ink clinging to its tip, a dark promise of stories yet to be fully captured. The rain on the roof seems to intensify, a gentle drumming that washes over the world outside, cleansing and soothing, creating a cocoon of sound that seals you within this quiet sanctuary. You can see the condensation forming on the inside of the shutters, tiny rivulets tracing paths down the aged wood, a testament to the damp air held at bay by the warmth within. The smell of the burning peat fills your lungs, a primal, comforting scent that grounds you, and the steady, rhythmic tapping of the rain becomes a lullaby, a gentle reminder of the world outside, soothed and softened by the downpour. You are safe here, sheltered and warm, your hand steady, your mind focused, a quiet guardian of the past, held fast by the rhythm of the rain. You lift the quill, its goose feather shaft cool and smooth against the pad of your thumb, and you bring its nib to hover just above the waiting parchment. The surface is a landscape of pale cream, stretched taut over the wooden board, faintly mottled with the memory of the beast it once was. You take a slow, steadying breath, drawing in the scent of oak gall ink-sharp and metallic, like cold iron and crushed leaves mingled with the deeper, mustier perfume of the treated hide itself. Your first touch is a whisper, the quill's point kissing the surface with a soft, scratching sigh. You trace the first rune, the fehu for wealth and possession, the ink flowing in a rich, black line that soaks into the fibers. The sound is crisp and dry, a rhythmic scritch-scritch that fills the quiet of your small, sheltered space. You feel the slight resistance of the parchment, a gentle tug against your careful control, and you adjust the pressure of your fingers, the angle of your wrist, until the line flows as smoothly as a spoken word. The fire in the central hearth murmurs to your left, its light casting a warm, wavering glow across your work, making the wet ink glisten for a moment before it dries to a matte finish. You are not merely copying marks. You are walking the path of the skald's voice, the one who stood by the fire in the great hall last night, his words weaving the saga of a voyage to the White Sea. You hear his cadence in your mind, the rise and fall of his tone, the pause for breath before a mighty deed. Your hand becomes his voice. Each curve of a B, for Bjorn Bear, is the shape of a shoulder, the weight of a stride. Each straight line of a R, for Ratha, to advise, is the firmness of a decision made in council. The ink scent is constant, a familiar companion, and you taste the faint, woody tang of it in the back of your throat, as familiar as the taste of yesterday's ale. The world outside your window is a soft, gray blur. A gentle, persistent rain has begun to fall, its patter on the thatch overhead a steady, soothing rhythm that seems to slow time itself. It is a sound that speaks of safety, of being nestled deep within a warm and sturdy hall while the weather tends to the earth. Your shoulders are wrapped in the steady, familiar weight of your woolen cloak, and your feet, tucked beneath the bench, are cradled in thick socks. The chill of the damp air is held at bay by the fire's gentle persistence, its heat reaching you in soft, orange waves that play across the back of your writing hand. You dip the quill again into the small, worn horn ink pot, watching the liquid cling to the nib, a droplet hanging like a dark jewel before you tap it gently against the rim. The action is a ritual, a small moment of preparation that steadies your mind. You return to the parchment, to the story of ice-locked ships and the strange, pale forests of the north. The sentences you build are long and cumulative, each clause adding a new layer to the scene, just as the scald added detail upon detail. The way the frost clung to the beards of the men. The way it glittered on the fur of their hoods. The way their breath hung in the still, silent air like the ghosts of their words. And you translate this layered telling into your own layered script, your hand moving with a slow, deliberate grace. This is your quiet saga. There is no ring of axes here, no salt spray of a desperate voyage. The heroism in this room is the heroism of preservation, of holding a flickering torch steady against the long night of forgetting. Your wrist may grow tired, your eyes may strain in the fire flicker, but the challenge is a peaceful one, a deep and focused contentment. You are the keeper of the breath between the words, the guardian of the pause. The saga unfolds beneath your steady hand, line by deliberate line, a world conjured not from muscle and steel, but from patience and memory, safely held on a field of cream-colored hide, sheltered from the soft rain and the turning of the years. The low, steady hum of the evening fills the air as you sit by the flickering light of the oil lamp, its flame dancing gently, casting long, wavering shadows on the walls of your small, snug room nestled within the longhouse. You are safe, wrapped in the warmth of the hearth, the scent of burning birchwood and salt from the nearby sea mingling softly, a familiar and comforting aroma that has become a part of you. The parchment before you is soft, its surface slightly rough beneath your fingertips as you guide the quill, the ink glistening wetly in the lamplight, its dark, earthy scent rising gently to meet your nose. The sound of the quill scratching across the parchment is a steady rhythm, a whisper of history being captured, preserved. The longhouse around you is quiet, the usual clamor of the day having faded into the gentle murmur of voices from the outer room, the occasional laugh or clink of a drinking horn drifting through the wooden walls. The fire crackles softly in the hearth, its warmth reaching out to you, a steady, protective presence. You feel its heat on your face, a gentle caress. As you lean over your work, the weight of the quill in your hand, a familiar, comforting presence. The light from the lamp is soft, its glow warm and steady, casting a gentle pool of illumination on the parchment, the ink shimmering like dark pools of water in the flickering light. You are careful, meticulous, each stroke of the quill a deliberate act, a careful transcription of the words that have been whispered in your ear, the tales that have been passed down through generations. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich. It sent a sharp contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse. You can feel the texture of the parchment, the slight give of the fibers beneath the quill, the way it absorbs the ink, the way the words seem to sink into the very heart of the page. The sound of your breathing is steady, a soft counterpoint to the scratching of the quill, a gentle rhythm that soothes and calms. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, its texture a gentle contrast to the rough, calloused skin of your fingers. You can feel the slight give of the fibers, the way they absorb the ink, the way the words seem to sink into the very heart of the page. The quill is a steady, familiar weight in your hand. Its scratch across the parchment, a soft, rhythmic sound, a gentle counterpoint to the quiet murmur of the longhouse. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. You are safe, nestled in the warmth of the longhouse, the steady rhythm of your work a gentle, soothing presence. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich, its scent rising gently to meet your nose. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. You are safe, held in the warmth of the longhouse, the steady rhythm of your work a gentle, soothing presence. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich, its scent rising gently to meet your nose. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. You are safe, nestled in the warmth of the longhouse, the steady rhythm of your work a gentle, soothing presence. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich, its scent rising gently to meet your nose. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. You are safe, nestled in the warmth of the longhouse, the steady rhythm of your work a gentle, soothing presence. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich, its scent rising gently to meet your nose. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. You are safe, nestled in the warmth of the longhouse, the steady rhythm of your work a gentle, soothing presence. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich, its scent rising gently to meet your nose. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the generations. You are safe, nestled in the warmth of the longhouse, the steady rhythm of your work a gentle, soothing presence. The parchment is soft beneath your hand, the ink dark and rich, its scent rising gently to meet your nose. The light from the lamp is warm, its glow steady and familiar, casting long shadows that dance gently on the walls, their movements slow and hypnotic. The fire in the hearth is a steady presence, its warmth reaching out to you, a protective, comforting embrace. The longhouse around you is quiet, the sounds of the evening a soft, distant murmur, a gentle lullaby that wraps around you, cradling you in its warmth. The scent of the ink is sharp, a dark contrast to the warm, woody aroma of the longhouse, a scent that is uniquely yours, a scent that speaks of stories and history, of tales preserved and passed down through the last ember of the lamp's oil, glows a deep, pulsating orange, casting long, dancing shadows across the rough-hewn timbers of your small dwelling, a space that feels so deeply familiar, so utterly safe. You run a thumb over the finished vellum, the surface smoothed by countless hours of your careful work, the faint, earthy scent of treated hide mingling with the sharp, metallic tang of the ink that now stains your fingertips, a testament to the stories you have painstakingly captured. Outside, the wind has softened to a murmur, a gentle sigh against the eaves, a sound you have always found comforting, a lullaby woven from the ancient breath of the world, wrapping your small home in a protective embrace. You shift on your stool, the worn wood cool beneath your rough-spun tunic, and the book, heavy with the weight of its narratives, settles more comfortably in your lap, its pages a testament to the sagas you have wrestled from the air and etched into permanence. The fire in the hearth, now reduced to a bed of glowing coals, breathes a soft, rhythmic warmth against your cheek, a steady, reassuring heat that permeates the air, carrying with it the faint, sweet aroma of burnt wood and the lingering ghost of roasted meat from your evening meal. You can almost taste the lingering richness on your tongue, a subtle, satisfying echo of sustenance. Your eyes trace the lines of script, the elegant, flowing runes that hold the deeds of heroes and the wisdom of elders, each stroke a deliberate act of preservation, a defiant stand against the forgetting that time so relentlessly brings. The parchment feels cool and smooth beneath your fingertips, a tactile connection to the past, each page a quiet promise that these voices will not fade into the silent dark. The only sounds are the soft crackle of the dying embers, a gentle popping and hissing like secrets whispered in the night, and the distant, muffled bleating of sheep, a familiar sound from the fold just beyond your sheltered walls, a reminder of the steady, predictable rhythm of life in this settled place. A deep, bone-mellowing weariness begins to settle over you, a pleasant heaviness that pulls at your eyelids, urging them to close, to embrace the coming darkness. You can feel the soft wool of your tunic against your skin, a comforting friction that grounds you in this moment, in this warm, sheltered space. The scent of lamp oil, now almost spent, is a thin, sweet haze in the air, a final, fading fragrance that speaks of the day's work drawing to a close, of the quiet transition into the deep, restorative peace of sleep. You lean back against the rough, comforting timber of the wall, the solid wood a steadfast presence behind you, holding you secure. The book, now closed, rests beside you, its purpose fulfilled for this night, its stories safe within its bound pages, a treasure held in the quiet heart of your home. The light from the hearth has softened further, painting the room in shades of deep amber and rose. A warm, gentle glow that seems to cradle you, to protect you. The air is still, heavy with the promise of rest, carrying only the faint, earthy scent of the soil beyond your walls, a scent that whispers of deep roots and enduring strength. Your breathing deepens, each inhale slow and steady, a quiet rhythm that matches the gentle pulse of the dying fire, a comforting cadence that rocks you towards slumber. The world outside is a distant murmur, the wind a faint whisper, the sounds of the settlement hushed into the profound silence of night. You are safe here, nestled within the sturdy walls of your home, wrapped in the warmth of the fire and the profound peace of a day's work well done, the weight of the finished book a comforting presence beside you, a silent guardian of the stories that will carry you into dreams.